I recently did a video on piercings. I thought I'd share with you my experiences when I've had piercings. It doesn't always go perfectly, but even if it's gone wrong, which in my case it has gone wrong a few times, it's still not the end of the world, and it's not something you should be scared about, and it shouldn't be something that should put you off. It's always something you should think about. First one I got was my second. First one I got was my second. No, earlobes. I got these. I was allowed to get them when I was about 12 years old. I think I got them when I was about 15 because I was a bit of a wuss. I told you this story before in my last piercing video. I cried. I had to stop the whole shop. There was two ladies in the shop. This was Claire's Accessories. I stopped the whole shop because I wanted both ears done at the same time, because if I had one done and the other one done, I think I would have blacked out halfway through. So the whole shop stopped to watch me get both my ears done. I had two guns to my face like this. But the actual piercing itself was fine. I just got worked up at the beginning, felt like I was going to be sick. I had to promise me getting a sticker to say how brave I was and a lolly or something to make me do it, but I did it in the end and it was fine. It was absolutely fine. The thing that hurt the most was cleaning it, spinning it after, because you've got to spin them to make sure they don't stick in place, and also taking them out. They'd put the backs on the earrings so hard that I couldn't pull them out. I remember the first time I had my earrings done, I'm pulling them out. I was just in front of the mirror for like hours, just sitting there trying to pull it out, and then your ear goes red. That was really the worst part of it altogether. Next one that I got, I think, was my second earlobe piercing. Got it in Claire's Accessories again. I think my sister bought them for me for my birthday. I said I've always wanted them, which I did, but it was one of them where, like, I think I just followed the crowd a bit. I don't think I really wanted them at that time. I think I should have waited. But they were fine. There's not really a good story with that one. Just sat there, had like more people watching me, and family, friends, and school friends, and everyone watching me. So I was like, oh, I've got to be brave. I think I panicked more for my seconds than my first, even though I knew what the pain was going to feel like, because I was worried it was going to be near my cartilage. But obviously my seconds was nowhere near. But I thought it was the same problem though, twisting them and all that stuff. My next one I think I got was my belly bar. I've wanted this since I was about 10 years old. I love belly bars. I wanted it before any of my friends had them, anyone I knew had them. I've always wanted a belly bar. I went to Blue Banana. I can't remember how much it cost me, probably like 30 quid or something. It cost me, I can't remember. I had an appointment because I had to leave it in like sterilisation or something for like an hour or something. And there was like 20 kids waiting to go in, guessing to get their ears done or something, all with their parents. And I've gone straight in. I'm about to lift up my top and lay flat on the bed, and I've got my arms like this. I'm laying there like, yeah, ready. And she's like, no, you've got to put your arms down on your side somewhere. And then she was like, oh, your stomach's been a bit tense. And I was like, is that bad? She was like, yeah, it's bad. She's like, you need to wiggle. So now I'm like laying on this bed, arms by my side, like. She's basically just told me how to breathe. She's just gone breathe in, and when she said breathe out a second time, she just pushed it through. Reminded me, I don't know, if you imagine having like thick bit of like rubber, like latex glove or something, and pushing a needle through it, and just the satisfaction of like the pop. That's what it felt like. It sounds gross, but I think I kind of like the feeling of it. Then she had like, I think it was like a needle and a thread. So the needle went through, and then like she pulled through this like tube that went through with it. And she was like, do you want to look? I was like, yeah, thinking I'm really brave. Didn't I look at it? I was like, wasn't so brave. Felt a bit queasy. And then she had to then move that like bit of plastic or whatever was out to then put the piercing in. And then that bit, it didn't hurt at all. It just was gross. It was like, there's a hole in my stomach and she's putting a bit of metal through it. Once it was done, it was fine. Well, I lied. Once it was done, it was fine. No. She asked me whether I'd eaten, and I told her no. She told me the hour that I had to wait, I have to go and eat something. I didn't really want to waste my money on food, and I don't want to eat a lot because I knew I was going to get nervous and feel sick. So I ate a bag of minstrels, little bag of minstrels, and didn't even finish the whole packet. But drank plenty of water. Thought that would help. Apparently it doesn't. You need a lot of sugar in your blood. I got back and told her what I'd eaten. She was like, well, it's up to you whether you want to carry on or not. And obviously I was going to carry on. Made it about 20 minutes down the road. Primark, best shop, especially when it's boiling hot. It makes you feel a lot better. Almost passed out. Had to get out of Primark and sit on the floor. Practically laid on the floor outside of Primark like a boss for about an hour. I was sitting there with my friend as well, who was being really helpful, saying, oh, well, if you pass out, I can't lift you. Was being a massive baby, but then after a while it passed, and then carried on with my shop. Nose piercing was next. You know your normal belly button, it's like the top part, like belly button, and it's here. My friend has a bottom belly done. I think it looked really cool. I was gonna go get that one done. Or my nose piercing. I wasn't sure about nose, I really liked it. My sister told me I should get it, but wasn't sure. I went into Blue Banana again, bit of spur of the moment thing whilst I was shopping, and said, should I get nose piercing or bottom belly done? Every single member of staff in there said nose, and that was because then they were allowed to do it straight away, whereas if it's bottom belly they've got to leave it in sterilisation again for a while. Straight into the room, didn't have to queue again, sat on the bed, wiped my nose over, got rid of the makeup and stuff, and put a load of tissues on my lap. So I was like, oh god, like what? Thinking my nose is gonna like explode with blood or something. No, it was fine. He just said that your eyes are going to water like anything, so you need to be prepared for it. I always thought you're not meant to use a gun. I thought something like there's nerves in your nose, and if they use a gun it hits the wrong nose. It hits the wrong nose? No, I'm sure they hit the right nose. If they use a gun and it hits a nerve or something, it can make like half your face paralysed or something. But they used a gun and it was fine, I think. The only problem is once it shot through, the gun got stuck, so I couldn't see. My eyes were watering like anything, and I was sitting there like, ugh, and it's stuck, and he's wiggling it, which is making my eyes go more. It didn't hurt or anything, and that's probably the least painful by far. If anything, I didn't feel it. He got it off after a while, and it's fine. He kind of flung tissues in, flung tissues in my face, and like try and catch all the makeup and put it back into place. The only one thing I didn't like about the nose piercing, the needle was the piercing that stayed in, it just shot in. So the inside of the piercing was a sharp blade, and you forget you're a nose piercing when you first get it done. So you go like this, and you stab yourself, and then you get a nosebleed, and you're there like, and it happened all the time. And I tried to change my nose piercing loads of times. I could never get the bendy ones in, it was always the straight ones. Kept giving myself nosebleeds or stabbing the inside of my nose and hurting the inside of my nose and stuff. So as you can see, I'm hoping there's no scar. That one did last long, got rid of that one, waste of money. Loved how it looked, massive pain in the ass. After that, I felt confident. I like the belly bar and I like the nose one. So I went for my industrial. Now, like I said before, I think your ear piercing thickness is 1.2 millimeters. This was 1.6 millimeters. It was a spur of the moment thing. I think I was after work, I just got paid or something, and I wanted it done. So the shop actually stayed open for me just to come in. It cost me like 50 quid or something stupid like that. He told me that Blue Banana do the piercings straight away, like put the bar straight in. He told me that that's actually really bad, because if you've got a bar, you've got to have, there's different bars for the size of your ear. So like, I think I'm a 32 millimeter long bar, whereas if you've got bigger ear, you've got to have bigger bar, things like that. He told me that they measure your ear before they put the piercing in, and if your ear swells up and you've got the bar in it, your ear will bend and it will stay bent and you'll fuck up your ear. People talking in my video. Ruin my video. Shh. Yeah, so he put two like little piercings in, and then once it healed over after a while, I was allowed to go back and he'll put a bar in. That was fine. I had to then buy loads of little piercings for a while, which was a pain to get them that thickness, but it was fine. Only problem I've ever had with that bar, one is to get bars that actually fit, because they can like really expensive once you get like the thickness and then everything that fits you. Biggest problem is that when you pierced one, it actually hurt. There's like a kind of like pain. My ear like exploded with blood. It sounds really gross. It sounds really gross. But he was even asking me whether I've had some alcohol before I got there, because it just went everywhere. He had his daughter in the corner sitting there, like, don't know what she was doing, waiting for him to finish work or something. She wasn't working there, and he actually needed to get her to run and get a load of paper towels from somewhere to come over, because the amount he had ready just wasn't enough. So that was great. But then to make it worse, he started doing the bottom one. That was the bottom one. He then needed to do the top one, And there was no way after all of that I was going to back out and just have one. I wanted two and I wanted it like now. The second one was fine. He turned around, I think he had an elastic band or something around his wrist, caught my first one and pinged, and not only did that really, really hurt, but it started the whole process all over again, and it was like psh, everywhere, and I felt really pale and I felt awful, and I had to like drive home, which was like a 20-30 minute drive home. But that one's probably my favourite, especially in the moment I put the bar in and everything. Definitely my favourite. It's actually really weird as well to like move, but that was definitely the worst experience ever. And I think that guy that does a piercing has done like piercings and tattoos for people like Robbie Williams, so it's not his fault. It wasn't his fault, but some people, like I said, some people just have bad experiences, and that time it was me. It was fine. After that I got my rook done. No, I got my thirds done. My thirds I got done by my friend who was a beautician. I charged me like £3 or something stupid for it, so I thought I might as well. They were fine. I had to work after and they were like boiling hot, but no story with them really. Just quickly ran upstairs, ran back downstairs, and my friend who worked with me at the time also got hers done, so I had to act really brave because she was being very dramatic with it. Then I got my rook done. I got it done in a tiny little shop that had just about enough room for me and the 2 workers in there. She sprayed my ear with like some numbing stuff beforehand. I'm so glad she did it. I felt the piercing, but in no way had pain with it. The only one problem is I've still got the one in that she pierced it with because I can't get it off. I don't know whether it screws or pops or I don't know, but I can't get it off. You've seen there's been some good and some bad experiences, which you've just got to be prepared for if you ever do go for any piercings. Just be ready because anything can happen while sticking a needle through your body. I hope this helps a little bit in making you a bit more knowledgeable, a bit more ready for your piercings, for your piercings. Please like and subscribe and check out some of my other videos, do piercings and all that kind of shebang. Yeah, okay, bye. Cuticle pusher backer. Cuticle pusher backer. It sounds like, who is it? Chewbacca? Cuticle pusher backer. Chewbacca. Chewbacca. Cuticle pusher backer. Chewbacca. I'll put it down.